The meeting is now recording. We're currently recording it right now. I'm trying to make sure that we're recording. Let me make sure that we're okay. Yeah, we're recording. All right. Okay, so we're going to start immediately. Good evening, everyone. Let me go ahead by sharing my screen. I want us to go straight to the chat. We're going to look at the chat. After looking at the chat, we're going to look out for other things. Let me share my screen. All right, so I'm trying to share my screen right now. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Mr. Peace, can you see my
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna go straight into the charts. I'm like I said, I'm gonna be analyzing USD pairs. I'm gonna be starting from DXY. I'm gonna be analyzing USD pairs. I'm gonna be starting from DXY. We'll do Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD. I also look out for gold. These are the major things I trade, but I'm going to be starting with DXY. So this is DXY dollar index. So this is what I'm expecting for this week. So looking at DXY, please can you just mute yourself? I'm hearing some noise in the background, please. I think it's better for us to mute ourselves. If you want to talk, you unmute yourself so we can have you know. I'm hearing some noise in the background. I don't know who is making that noise. Please let us mute ourselves. Someone let us mute. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. John Bosco. I've muted everybody.
Okay. All right. Nice. Because I think it's better this way. There's no need of all this noise. Um. All right. So this is DXY. I want you to understand the power DXY has in every dollar collated pair. Anything against dollar, DXY has huge impact.
Hello, Mr. John Bosco. Are you there?
I'm there. Can't you hear me? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. You muted me too. I didn't know that you muted me. I was just talking. Sorry. I didn't even know it affected me. Okay, all right. So this is DXY. DXY controls the financial market. Anything happening in dollar has huge impact in the whole of the financial market, most especially dollar correlated pairs. If you want to trade anything correlating with dollar, whether Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, USD JPY, all the USD pairs you can ever think of. If you don't look at what is happening in DXY, then the only thing you're looking at is maybe the chart patterns in all of those currencies. You might see yourself making so many losses. Yeah, you might see yourself making so many losses. Now look at what happened last year. This is last year movement. This is crazy movement. You can see. Most of you is not aware of what happened here. This was when the Fed started increasing the interest rate. Now the interest rate in the US started going up. Currently, the interest rate in the US is currently 5.5, and there's even a debate that they will even increase the interest rate to what 6%, because why? The goal of the Fed is to bring inflation to 2%. That is the goal of the Fed in the US, to bring down inflation down to 2%. Now look at what the massive bullishness that happened in DXY, that was last year. But if you look at Euro USD or GBP USD, you see how this heavy movement impacted the market. The market was very bullish. So many people made so much money. This is like massive trending market. Now you can see when we start reversing to the downside, as you can see, we have started creating a lot of downtrend movements right now in DXY. That's why we are seeing some bullishness happening in Europe. DXY is bearish, but you need to understand what you need to do in week by week basis. That's one thing you need to pay attention to. Because if you look at the price action, what is happening right now in DXY, it is very obvious that we are bearish. Because why? We created a high here, then we had this low. This is a low, then this is a higher low. This is a new low. This is a higher low. This is another low. This is a higher low. Then we had another higher low. But what are we doing now? We're about to either to drop from here. This is the first target, to drop from here. We can actually drop from here, which is seeing a kind of market going to the downside at this level in DXY, which is 103.637. This is where I'm expecting the first retracement to start happening for us to go to the downside. Or if we push up above it, for me, I think we're going to retrace from here. Because of, why do I think so? Because this structure right here, let me draw the structure. This structure right here, I believe you can see my screen, broke this low. You can see we broke this low, making that structure a strong high, which means that once the market get there, we can start seeing some reaction of the market of DXY going to the downside. And if DXY start going to the downside, this is when we start seeing Euro USD pushing up, GBP USD pushing up, AUD USD pushing up. But right now, you can see what happened last week. DXY closed bullish. Now, I don't see the reason why so many people will go to maybe Euro USD chart or AUD USD or GBP USD and start analyzing reversal without not looking at DXY. If DXY is about to reverse, anything that will happen on any US dollar pair starts from DXY. That's one thing you need to know. Now, if this market gets to this area, I'm actually expecting a huge sell. This is the first area. I'm actually expecting a sell from here. This is where I'm expecting a sell on DXY. And I'm not going to be taking any longs. I'm not going to be taking Euro USD sell. I'll just need to exercise patience for the market to get here, for me to start looking at what the price action, the candles, how the candles will be printing. I need to start seeing bearish candle formation. I need to start seeing some bearish candle signs for me to know that, okay, the market is about to reverse, for the downtrend to continue. Sorry, let me remove this. So now for me, we are still in a downtrend. This is a pure downtrend for for DXY to get to the price of 97, even to this low. Because if you check on the monthly time frame, it is very obvious that we are bearish. Look at the monthly time frame. Look at the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame is very bearish. You can see, for people who trade chart patterns, this is kind of like a very clear chart pattern, whereby that will have some impulse, correction here, there another impulse. This is kind of like what we can see in DXY. And you can see last month closed bearish. This is last month closed bearish, and today's date is what we are in. Today's date is what, 13th. You can see the market can easily push up here, and guess what? Before we know what's happening, before the end of this month, you see price getting back to this low, and next month being September, we see a lot of bearishness in DXY. So DXY, to me, in my opinion, we are bearish in DXY on the long term. But looking at what is happening on the weekly, we are still bullish on the weekly. We are bearish on the monthly, but we are still bullish on the weekly. Now, if you look at daily too, we are bullish. But guess what, guys? I told you, this is where I'm expecting a reversal. There is no reason. There's no way I'm going to take. I'm not going to take any buy. Or for example, if DXY is going up, Euro USD will be dropping. There's no way I'm going to sell Euro USD. Though I'm in a position of Euro USD now. I started selling Euro USD after the CPI news. I'm still going to show you the chart. After the CPI news, I knew that bullishness that happened in CPI was a fake move. I waited for 1 o'clock candle to close. Immediately 2 o'clock candle opened. I opened a sell positions on a 2 o'clock candle. Then on Friday morning, I opened another sell position because I knew that we are still bullish. We are still bearish in Euro USD, because why? DXY is bullish. So this is where I'm expecting DXY to get to. For me, there's no need to rush. All I need to do is just to wait for the market to get here, take my profits, and see how price action is going to react. Then if we keep on going bullish, I'll still see that in the chart, but this is just what I'm actually looking at. So looking at DXY, I've actually established the fact that DXY is bullish. So there is no need for me to look for bearish right now until we get to this region. This is the region. Until we get here, this is where I will start looking at the chart to see if I'm going to make a decision to start buying Euro USD or start buying GBP USD or start buying AUD USD. Now, if you go to the let's go to Euro USD for you to see how price action is aligning. So this is Euro USD, as you can see. Now, this is what I used to tell people. You see, if you focus on higher time frame buyers, let's say for example, you're focusing on higher time frame buyers, you save yourself a lot of problems. For example, there is no way to know whether the market is bullish or bearish on the 15 minutes time frame or on the 1 hour. You can only know that the market is bullish on the daily and on the weekly. The monthly takes a lot of time to happen, but daily, weekly has a lot of information to help you. Now, you see, I was able to catch this sell on top of here, this sell up onto this level. I was able to catch it because why? I have studied DXY to know how it works. You know, for example, some people will put a sell limit here. Let me show you something. Some people will put a sell limit here. Now, have you ever asked yourself, why didn't the market react? Like, there was no reaction whatsoever. Let's say you put a sell limit here because why? This is a supply level or this is a resistance level. You put a sell limit here for the market to go down. Now, you are not wrong because this is what we are taught for us to put sell limits in, whereby if the market gets to a higher time frame, we put a sell limit. But you don't know if the market was going to reverse there. But because of DXY was so bearish at that time, that was why this thing did not even react. You can see that day closed heavily bullish. The next day closed heavily bullish. We had some bullishness for like about 2 more days before we had this bearishness, and the market changed direction and start going to downside. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm very bullish in Euro USD because why? If you go to Euro USD on the monthly time frame, let me show you Euro USD. So even if you're a day trader, you want to become a day trader, you can become a day trader, it's fine. But you want to trade in the direction of the overall trend. You can't be flowing. You can imagine, for example, the river is flowing on the left-hand side and you want to push the river back. You can't do that. Imagine when flood is happening, when it rains heavily. Flood is happening, all of a sudden, you say you want to wait flood. The flood will just carry you and take you to the River Niger. And that is why a lot of people miss out. Now, looking at this Euro USD now on the monthly time frame, this is a clear bullish signal. There is nothing bearish here right now. This is a clear, because why? Last month closed what? Last month closed bullish. In as much as some people will call this in a rejection. Yeah, some people can call it rejection. The market closed bullish because the candle here closed bullish. Yeah, the candle here closed bullish. Looking at what is happening. So we can just have a little pullback back to this low for the market. I also talk about something called market candlestick absorption. The candlestick can decide to absorb all the last month's candle. You can see we can choose to absorb all of this last month's movement and push up to the upside, and that will happen before the end of this month. And you need to pay attention. So DXY at the moment right now is bullish. Euro USD is bullish on the long term. You can see, but I'm actually being careful to know when to take my profit. This is on the monthly time frame, but on the weekly time frame on Euro USD, as you can see, we are tapping into. If you look at DXY, where I told you that I'm going to be looking for a sell, you can see it's almost the same thing. So if this market gets here, there's a probability that we can start pushing up. You can see last week closed bearish. I'm actually expecting this week for the bearishness to continue going to the downside on Euro USD. So that is for Euro USD. I'm very this week I'm still bearish until we see anything that will confirm the bullishness for the markets to change direction. From when the market come down here, we start seeing some candle formation to start pushing to the upside. So this is just a clear market movement. Let me show you. This is so simple. For people who understand market structure, market does not move on a straight line. This is a higher high. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. This is another higher high. This is another higher low. This is another higher high. Another higher low is about to happen for the market to do what? Another higher high. It's very simple market structure. So if you can be able to identify trends on this higher time frame, then you can go to 1 hour or 15 minutes and execute effortlessly. That's the beautiful thing about trading. But if you check the daily time frame of Euro USD, This is the daily time frame. As you can see, the same thing is happening. We are bearish right now. I don't know why some people are buying Euro USD. I don't know why. I don't know why you are buying it. But I am very bearish on Euro USD to this level before I start seeing bullish movement to the upside. Then I'll start confirming my entries on the 4 hours and on the 1 hour time frame. So that is all for Euro USD. Let's go to AUD USD. So looking at AUD USD on a monthly time frame, let's check what happened on the monthly time frame on AUD USD. As you can see, last month close, you can see we had some rejection. Last month close bullish, but we had a lot of rejection. But if you look at AUD USD, we have been selling for a long time, and the question is, can the market get here? Yeah, can the market get here before we start seeing some bullishness? Possibly the market can still get here, but we need to look at to see what is happening. Looking at on the monthly time frame, AUD USD is showing a sign of bearishness. Well, that is for AUD USD on the monthly time frame. Then on the weekly, let's check on the weekly. As you can see, the bearishness is even more. You can see, but there's a demand level here. This is a demand level we need to be very mindful of. There's a demand level there on the weekly. This is a demand level. In as much as you are not seeing it clearly, there's a demand level. This demand level can reverse the market to the upside. You need to be very mindful. Anything can happen in the market. Now, the reason why I'm very mindful of this demand level, look at the demand level here. This is the demand level. This demand level was responsible for the breaking of these structures. You can see there was a very massive, 3 weeks movement, 1, 2, 3 weeks. The market moved heavily and broke this structure with a body close. So there's a tendency that the market can just tap into that demand level and push to the upside. So this is how you can be able to determine market movements and know how to trade it on the lower time frame. So you don't just go on the lower time frame and start executing whatever chart patterns or whatever BOS or anything you are seeing there. You need to establish trends first. That is the first thing first. If you are against the trend, the market will deal with you mercilessly. That's one thing you need to know. No matter what you learn, the market cannot change its direction. You just have to understand the direction of the market and know how to trade it. So looking at AUD USD on the daily, this is the weekly. If you look at the daily now, as you can see, you can see that demand level is a very clear area. For me, I'll be very mindful. I was in a short position here, but this trade was it was a very beautiful trade I took. I think 2 weeks ago when I took this sell. I entered this sell somewhere here. This was where I took the sell. I took it here. This was where I entered sell on top here. I have been holding that trade till this time. I've been holding it. And as much as I've closed some of my position, but I have one position still running. And my take profit is at this demand area down here. Because why? This demand here, you can see this crazy bullish movement. I believe that the market will going to have a kind of reaction from here once the market taps into that demand level. But looking at it on the day, on the monthly, we are bearish. But will the market get to the price of 0.61794? I don't think so. But this level, which is 0.64584, is a very important level to be very mindful of in AUD USD. And if you look at these things, they are all aligning to DXY being bearish, because if DXY turn bearish, look at what will happen. If DXY turn bearish right now and DXY start going down on the long term, guess what? The market will just reverse from here to the upside. This is what we can see. So you can see the way all of them are aligning on the overall, bearishness of DXY. In as much as DXY is bullish in a short time, probably DXY will turn bearish before the end of this week. Let's see how price action is going to react. We're going to talk about that in our Wednesday meeting. If you don't want to mix that, you can as well get yourself connected in our Wednesday meetings. Then this is gold. I love trading gold. Gold is one of my go-to trades. I love trading gold. I love gold so much. In as much as I learned the hard way in trading gold, but gold made me to be because of the way I lost on gold when I started Forex. I decided to learn gold. I said, people are running away from this thing. I'm not going to run away. Now, looking at gold right now, gold is bullish. Yeah, gold is bullish on the monthly because last month closed bullish, and if you can see, we just retested this higher low. We just retested it for us to create a new higher high. Looking at DXY in the long-term perspective, we can actually see gold pushing up to 2,200 plus. You can see we can actually see gold pushing up to $2,000 and above. We can see gold at that price level because if DXY turns bearish, gold price will start pushing up. People will start buying gold. So looking at gold on the monthly time frame, we are bullish. So let's go to the weekly for us to see what is happening on the weekly. If you look at what is happening on the weekly, it is so clear that we are turning bullish. Now look at the price action that is happening on gold. You're understanding market structure. We had a high, we had a higher low, then we had a higher high, a higher low. Now this is a higher low, then another higher high is coming on gold. Now why do I say that we're gonna gold is gonna be bullish? Now look at the weekly time frame. You need to understand supply and demand areas. It is very, very important. Now the market created a demand here, and we have not retested that demand. You can see the market does the same thing. Anytime the market creates a supply or a demand, the market usually come back down and test those demand and supply areas before moving. Now let me show you an example of what happened. You can see the way the market created this supply and drop. Guess what? The market went back and touched the supply and drop. That is what the market does all the time in all the time frames. But if you focus on it on the higher time frame, you will have high probability setups. So looking at gold right now, I am very bullish on gold. Now this is where I'm expecting gold to turn, which is at the price of 1893.92. This is the price I'm expecting a gold reversal for us to start seeing bullish movements from gold. And and when this bullish movement starts, I believe my first target on gold will be 2070. That's my first target on gold. But if you go on a daily, let's see what is happening on the daily. You can see what I just showed you is very clear on the daily, which is the bullish movement. We're going to be very bearish. We are coming down to retest this demand area, and once we retest this demand area, we're going to push up from here. We are going to push up from here. We are going to push up from here and go to 70. And guess what? I entered this gold at this price on top here. That was when I entered this sell. Like I told you, I know where the market is going on the long term, which is on the monthly. Then I know where it's going on a week by week basis. Then I go on a daily and I trade in that direction. You can see the way gold was printing a very, very downtrend here. Let me show you about downtrend. The market does not go on a straight line. You need to have that in the back of your mind. Look at what the market was doing. Let me show you. We had a low. You can see what I told you about when the market creates a demand or supply, that the market usually come back and test it. Now look at what the market did here. The market created a supply and drop. Guess what? The market returned back to that supply and had a drop again. The market went back to that previous supply and had another drop. You can see this is what we have been doing, and we have been going to the downside. Imagine that you have this understanding of how the market flows. You will save yourself a lot of problems and losses. And that is why I decided to do this training, and I look at what Professor is doing. He's giving out a lot of values, and I decided to team up together to do this, to be able to educate you on how to trade the market. So gold on the long term is bullish, but we're going to get the market is going to be dropping this week up onto the price of 1894. Once the market gets to the price of 1894, I'm not looking at bullishness. I'm not looking at bearishness again. I'm going to be looking at gold reversing. I'm pushing all the way up towards 2070, which is 2070. Why am I saying this? Looking at what is happening on the DXY. Because what happens on the DXY is what the Federal Reserve is doing. How economy of the US is shaping up. If the economy of the US is bad, it will affecting dollar. And that you need to understand fundamentals. You don't just come and take technical analysis. No, we don't do that. For example, there are so many people who took this, who call this thing a support. For example, this is a support. I saw the market reacted. Imagine that you're trying to buy from here. For 2 days, the market bought. The market bought the first day, bought the second day. Guess what? On the third day, it engulfs everything it bought. It engulfed it. It's just for you to understand how the market moves. All right, that is all for gold. So this is JPY. I so much love JPY pairs, because I don't know if any of you that was in the meeting, the meeting we did last Wednesday. I said that JPY pairs is bullish, and guess what? It was massive. That was 375 pips bullish. And I didn't take this trade this week, and that pained me. But it is what it is. You can't take all trades. These are the trades I take. I was able to capitalize on this big sell. I took this big sell that happened here, and this buy that happened. That was what I took. I took it when it happened about 2-3 weeks ago. You can see. So this is how to trade the market. And you can see where this was a kind of lower high level that I marked. Immediately the market taps into the lower high level, will push up. But what could possibly happen here? Looking at JPY pairs. Honestly, JPY pairs is still bullish. You can see last month we retested a lower high here. This is a higher low. That was what we retested. You can see we retested and massively pushed up. You can see, and looking at the chart right now, US JPY is still bullish. Yeah, looking at the chart on the monthly, then going down to the weekly. I am very bullish, but there's going to be some retracement. The question is, can the retracement happen somewhere at this place? Let's see. Let me go to the daily to see where the retracement. Okay, you can see the way it's aligned. This is beautiful. So if I see a retracement at this level, you can see the way it's aligned. If I see a retracement at this level, I'm going to be looking at something very cool. What am I going to be looking for? If I go to the lower time frame and the market taps into this area, I need to see the market tapping into that area and push up and come back down. I will take my buy. This is what I'm looking for. So this is what I'm looking for on US JPY for us to have a retracement to this structure and push to the upside for us to be bullish. Because why? JPY as a currency is losing strength. I don't know if you study the financial market, if you know what is called Nikkei 225. Nikkei 225 has an influence in JPY. Nikkei 225 is the Japanese stock market. Whenever Nikkei 225 is bullish, very, very bullish, JPY as a pair becomes very bearish. And that is what has been happening for weeks. And that's why we saw crazy bullish movements in all JPY pairs. You can see people just literally made free money in all JPY pairs. So that's for USD JPY. So let's check for other currency. You can see US JPY. I'm predicting bullish. This is a CAD, USD CAD. USD CAD to a point was bearish. I was actually looking at USD CAD as bearish market, but I was very mindful of what could possibly happen. Because looking at this market right here on the weekly, this is a bearish market. A lot of people will set a sell limit here, which is at this weekly supply. Now, if you look at this weekly supply right here, let's go on a daily for you to see what happened there. There was a weekly supply that happened here. That is why there's a way I trade USD pairs. I don't trade it like every other person. Now, looking at, this is a very, three-touch area. You can see the way the market touched the first supply. You can see the second touch, the third touch. And we even have some reaction for the market to go to the downside. I was actually looking for a sell at this level. But why didn't I take the sell? I did not take the sell for one reason. What was the reason? DXY was still bullish. I did not take the sell. Now, for DXY being bullish, I know that the market will still be bullish. But I didn't take the buy trade anyway, because I always focus on one bias and leave the rest. Now we see that DXY is still bullish. Where am I looking forward to sell USD CAD? This is my first area, which is at this place, and I doubt if the market can can push to 1.365 to 1.36526. Now, I doubt if the market will get there, but I will be looking at what the market, how the market gets there. Now, if I see the market, for example, on the daily time frame, I see the market pushing up, and guess what? We'll get to a particular area and we'll have a drop. I will come back again to that same area that will have a drop. I'm going to be taking my sell on USD card. I'm going to be taking my sell because that will, and that will be in line of what is happening in DXY. This is how you put yourself in a chance for you to win. It's a way you put yourself in a chance for you to win. So that is how I'm going to be approaching USD card. At the moment right now, we are bullish. There is nothing, we have not turned bearish, because if you look at how last week closed, you can see the last week candle closed heavily bullish. You can see. So there's no point being bearish right now. There is no point. But on the long term, we are bearish. On the long term, we are bearish, because you can see this particular structure right here. Let me show you the structure. This particular structure right here broke all of these lows. You can see the way it broke these lows, which make that structure a strong high, which means that if the market gets there again, we can see heavy downtrend. But I doubt if the market will get there. Looking at this, looking at the gap, and also looking at where DXY is. But anything can happen. So whatever that happens, I'll keep looking at the market. So that is why you need to be part of what we are doing. And all of these signals, I'm going to be dropping it in our group. We're going to be creating. But for you to be getting these signals, you need to open accounts with SNES. I know many of you know about SNES. SNES is a forex broker, but you need to use our unique link to open accounts with SNES for you to be receiving our free signals of all of these setups. Let me also go to GBP USD before I start taking some of the analysis you want me to do for you. And I like focusing on DXY, on USD pairs. This is actually one of the bread and butter for me. I've checked some of the pairs that made me money and some of the pairs that I lost money on. I found that I've made more money trading USD pairs more than every other thing in the market. So looking at you can see GBP USD, as you can see right there. Now you don't need anybody to tell that this thing is going up. Even if you ask a child that where is this thing going, this is up. This is up. Very clear. You can see the way we are printing price action. You can see the way we push up a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. Then we're having a higher low. Guess what? For another higher high. That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. You can see this heavy downward movement that happened last year. This was a result of the Fed increasing the interest rate. But you can see the way we are printing a lot of market structures. This is this was a huge year. This was a low, a lower high, a lower low. All of this place is a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. You can see the market was going to the downside every single week. You can see how, looking at weekly time frame and daily time frame, you can establish the direction of the market that will help you to make money. I understand that not being good at technicals will not only help you to make money. You need to also work on psychology. I also understand that, and also risk. I also understand that, but you need to also find out that, are you now good in technical first? Then you start working on your psychology, because psychology has to do with awareness. You need psychology. For me, psychology is one of the most easiest things to work on in trading. If you are aware of something and you just have to create a discipline around it, and you get yourself, see yourself start moving and start creating success in your trading. All right, as you can see, I'm very bullish in GBP USD, but this is where I'm expecting the market to get to, of which I told you that I'm very, very mindful at all of these levels. You can see there's a lot of opportunity for us from this week and next week. Let's see what's going to happen. So let me check. This is the weekly. Let me check the daily. As you can see what is happening on the daily, you can see we are still in a downward movement on the daily. For us to tap into this demand area, you can see we have had a first tap, we reacted, we are coming back down, and if we're coming back down, there's a possibility we're going to even come more deeper and get to this level somewhere right here, and guess what? Push up. This is heavy push up. There's a lot of opportunity in USD pairs right now, and that's insane. About how many pips? Let me check. That's about 500 pips in cards for GBP USD for longs. But for me, I'm not going to be taking any sell here because looking at where the market is from where it is now, from here to the low, that's about 100 pips. But it is a good pip to make. But for you, where will you enter? That's the question. If you don't know where to enter, you can actually get yourself hot. That is why I will just wait. I can sacrifice 100 pips for the market to come down, get to this level, for me to start looking at price action to know when to take the market to the upside. All right, that's all. I believe you got value. I want to also take your questions and as well, if you have any charts you want me to analyze for you. I can see some people raising their hands. Quite number of people. I can see Ojodale. I can see Lavilanda Quincy. Sorry if I didn't mention your name correctly. Sorry about that. All right. You can.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. Abuko or something. Abi Akubo. Sorry if I didn't mention your name correctly.
Akubo Ojodale.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, here in Abuja, we have a lot of rain falling, so I missed from the beginning. I missed the lesson.
Okay.
I missed the half of the lesson.
The truth is that I'm recording it. I'm going to drop it in the group. I'm recording it. You have no problem about that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Any other person that have question? What about Roland and Quincy?
Sorry, one more thing, sir.
What's the question?
If person want do analysis for market like trading view,
okay,
how can the person recognize the strength? How they call it? I don't know.
How can someone recognize what?
The strength.
Strength? Is it strength?
Yes.
Strength. Well, you need to be part of our masterclass to understand how to do analysis. This is me. What I did this evening was to show you my projections. But for me, my analysis starts on the monthly, looking at the direction of the market. But I don't trade the monthly candle. I look out for what is happening week by week. Most people look at weekly candle as something that is long. Weekly candle is just 5 days. For me, is it not better for you to enter a trade on Monday and hold it till Friday? And guess what? The money you're going to make is going to be huge. And you will not be doing all this enter on Monday, close on Tuesday, enter on Monday, close in the afternoon, enter on Tuesday and lose, enter on Wednesday. All of these movements of day trading. I'm not against day trading, but I can tell you there's a lot of stress you can save yourself just by choosing to trade in the direction of trend. Let's just go back to, let me show you something. Let's just say, this is GBP USD. This is GBP USD. You can imagine that, if you can imagine this sell. This is like this happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days straight. This is just 1 week. Look at what happened in 1 week. 5 days. We did 273 pips in 5 days. You can imagine if the lot size you are using is 0.2. Let me just put it that way. Now, 0.2 multiplied by 273 pips. That's around 400 and something, or even $500 in a week. You can imagine if you're using a standard lot. That's about $2,000 plus. So that is the idea of trading. But guess what? If you go to this, look at how this candle is looking so clean on a daily. Now let's go to 15 minutes for you to see what I'm talking about.
All right, sir.
If you go to 15 minutes right now, there's a lot of, okay, let me go to daily. So I want us to get the exact movements that happened so that we'll not mix the whole thing up. Because 15 minutes are usually noise, and if you're not psychologically okay, if you're not psychologically sound, you're going to make a lot of rational decisions that is going to hurt your trading. That's one thing about lower time frame trading. So let's go to 15 minutes for us to see what happened here in 15 minutes, how 15 minutes candle developed. Let me show you something. I'm not against day trading. The fact is, if you understand the direction of the market, you'll be a very crazy day trader. Because why? You always be in the direction of the market. You're not trading against the market. Now looking at this, this is what happened. You can see. Imagine so many people who will buy in this market here. For example, you'll be like, okay, this is a support or demand area. You can see the way it touched here the second time, and you're expecting another third touch for you to what? Buy. You're waiting for a third touch for you to buy from here. But look at what happened. The market massively pushed to the downside. You can see, trying to do buy and sell in this thing. Like, how will you gonna do it? How? I don't know how. But if you can be able to establish a trend on the daily, which means, oh, the market is going up or the market is going. Imagine that, okay, you have discovered the market is going down on the daily. Now, how will I take this trade on the 15 minutes time frame? Very simple. Now, you see the market. What I told you about, anytime the market creates a supply or demand, the market usually come back there. Look at the example. You can see the way the market created a supply and dropped. You can see where it dropped. And guess what? It pushed up to that same area and had another drop. Then it created another supply again and dropped. And pushed up to again to that place and had another drop. That is what the market is doing. Now I've discovered that the market is what? Bearish. All I'm going to be looking out for sell opportunity trades. I'm not going to be looking for buys. And if you look at the way the market started going down, you can see people started to buy this. You can imagine buying this. You can see this is your double bottom, buying it. You can see it push up. You can see the way it went back down. You can imagine some people even start buying this. You can see that is one thing about trading against the trend. Follow the trend movement. That is what I'm just saying. I'm not against you being a day trader, but follow the trend.
All right.
There's a lot of things you can save yourself if you are a trend follower. I believe you got value. All right, let's take question from another person.
Thank you. Before another question, Mr. John Bosco, Mr. Akubo, the training for technical analysis will be ready by tomorrow, so you get access to the technical analysis because you are already on the advanced class. So for those who are not on the advanced class, for you to get our advanced technical analysis class, you have to be part of what we do.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, sir.
Awesome. Okay, let's take another question from another person. Let's take like 3 more questions.
Okay.
Yeah, Lawrence.
All right. Good evening.
You're welcome. Good evening.
Yes, I really appreciate you for what you're doing. This is quite
You're welcome.
eye-opening to us. Thank you very much. My question is the overriding strength of DXY. You made mention about when DXY is on a particular trend, then other pairs with US goes the opposite direction. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's exactly what I want to know, and if you can say something a little around that concept again.
Okay. Let me add that. Let me explain that so you can understand. So you need to, for you to be able to determine what. Can we mute ourselves back? All right. For you to be able to know where DXY will be heading to, where dollar pairs will be heading to, you need to know whether that currency DXY is he a base or a quote currency. This is kind of like FOREX 101. So is he a base or a quote currency? If it is a currency where DXY is a quote currency, for example, if DXY is a quote currency, if DXY is bullish, that particular currency will be going down. But if it's a currency where where dollar is a base currency, that particular currency will be going up. For example, if DXY is bullish, Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD will be going down. But if DXY is bullish, USD CAD, USD JPY, and USD CHF will be going up. So you need to understand where USD as a currency is a base or a quote currency. That's this is like FOREX 101. This is one of the basics of FOREX. So I believe you understand that. Roland, I don't know if you understand what I just said.
Well, I understand you clearly. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's take another question from another person.
You do understand.
Welcome. Thank you. You can mute yourself back, Roland. Let's take a question for another person. I can see some people Nick Song or something. Quincy, I can see you raising your hands.
If they're never ready to talk, please, I have one more question.
Okay, you can go ahead with your question.
Uh, like now, like market that they will buy from, like for tomorrow is Monday now, they'll buy from Monday to Friday according to what you just
No, no,
told
no.
us
You
now.
know,
Is there any
okay, complete your question. I want.
all right. The market that they buy, they will say, oh, you hold on, you hold the market like 2 days or 3 days. Yeah, are they pin it or are they closing it? And when the time come again, they will all open it, or how are they holding it? Or are they holding it by setting the stop loss?
Okay.
Or how are they follow it up?
All right. This is kind of like a basic question for beginners. You're asking how markets usually buy. Like no one knows when the market is going to buy. You know, but that's why you need to understand how to do analysis, and that is why you need to get our technical analysis video. And for a market to buy for days, you are the one to enter the market, and you are the one to allow the trade to run. You are the one. Nobody like you are the one that will take every decision. You just have to analyze the market, enter your trade, put your stop loss and your take profit, and allow the market to play out.
Okay,
It's
all
not
right,
that. It's not
all
that.
right.
It's not that people do it for you. You are the one to do it yourself. Let's take another question, please.
All right. Thank you so
Good evening,
much.
sir.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Please, sir, I just joined less than a minute ago. Is section recorded and saved?
Yeah, it's recorded. We're going to provide the recording. It's recorded.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Peters.
Yeah. Um, sir, I'm just in right now because of I was having another class. So, you said you are going to give us a market outlook for the week.
I've done it already.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
All right. So let's take another question from another person.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Really appreciate what you have been telling us this morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
My question is this: about this exchange trader, I have interested. Somebody with $100
Start swing trading.
effectively engage in swing trading or daily trading.
Yeah. Okay. Capital has nothing to do whether you're a swing trader or a day trader. With $100, you can be a swing trader. All you need to do is just work on your risk. And the main thing is there is this: don't focus on money. You see, one thing you need to focus on in trading is how can I get the skill. You see, there is capital everywhere. Today we have problems. There is capital everywhere. So capital should not be your problem. But ask yourself, can I learn this skill? If you apply the same thing you do on your $100 account to prop firm account that you will get in the future, you're gonna get the same result. The goal is to get the skill, not the capital. So with $100, you can take a sim trade. All you need to do maybe using 0.02 or 0.03 or 0.05, depending on your risk appetite.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, sir, how do you observe order block and break of structure in daily time frame?
Okay. All right. I like your question. How do I observe order block and break of structure? You know, for me, the way I like to look at for order blocks is I call it supply and demand. Some people call it support or resistance, or support and resistance, supply and demand, or order block, or institutional candle. A lot of people have a lot of things they call it in the forex market, but they are the same thing. For example, this is an order block right here. Am I lying? That's another block, right? Hello? I'm
I'm
asking.
with you, sir.
That's
Yes,
another
sir.
block. Okay. All right. So this as an order block. Now the market can turn from here and become bullish, and the market can still become bearish here. Now the way I interpret order blocks and take trades in those trades is that I will allow the markets to get to this place. And once the market gets here, I am not meant to do anything. Now, I need to see the market reacting. Now, if this market comes here to this other block, that's why I call it, this is a demand area or other block or a support area. If the market comes here, I'm expecting...
Mr. John Bosco, are you sure you're sharing your screen?
Oh, you're not seeing my screen?
No.
Are you serious? Oh.
I'm seeing the screen, sir.
I can see it's your own network. It's your,
okay,
your own
okay,
network.
Mr. Peace.
Okay. Go on, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, go on.
So this is another block. Now look at what is going on here, and that's what I'm going to show you so many things that happen here. Now this is a kind of other block that happened here, and the market pushed up. Now, how am I going to take a trade here based on the bias I'm looking at? If the market gets to this other block, I am not meant to do anything. But what I'm meant to do is to observe how price reacts. Now, I'm expecting a bullish movement from here. Now, if this bullish movement happens from here, I'll be excited because why? The market is reacting at a high value area where the market can actually reverse. Now we have had a bullish movement. I need to wait for a retracement. If you see a retracement, you can call it anything. You can call it head and shoulder. You can call it retest. And that's why I said in trading, a lot of people call it different kind of English language. For me, for what I call it is retracement. I'm waiting for a retracement for me to take a buy. And that can happen on a lower time frame. Now let me show you an example of where other block usually fails. Now, a lot of people will take a sell here. Let me show you. Now, this is another block, right? On top here. Can you see? This is another block, right?
Yes.
Now, you can see the way the market impulsively got to that other block. Now, immediately the market got there. Now, you see what happened the next day? The next day, we had some bearishness. Let me go to 4 hours. You will see this correctly. Let me go to 4 hours. Now, you see the way the market got to that other block. Then we had some bearishness. Now, because the market is bullish, that other block did not sell this market. You can see the way the market dropped heavily to the downside, and guess what? That same day we massively pushed to the upside. You can imagine if some people entered sell here and expecting to take profits down here, and you see the way the market pushed up and hit their stop loss, and the market keep going up. And that is understanding trends. You have to take other block by looking at trends. You don't just take other block anywhere, because if you go to the chart, other block is everywhere. Look at this 4 hours, for example. You can see the way we're having other blocks left, right, center. The question is, which one will you take? And that is why I look out for trends and look out for daily movements. For example, let me show you something. A lot of people will be looking for a sell, because I know you are asking this question. Maybe you are studying smart money concepts and ICT and the rest. Maybe you see something like this. I'm not saying that those things are wrong. You can study whatever you want to study. This is like a break of structure in smart money concepts. Now, when we have this break of structure, we are expecting for the market to do something like what? Pull back to this place, to this other block, and guess what? For us to keep going to the downside. That is what so many smart money concept teaches. But look at what happened. The market got to that place where you were expecting sell. You were expecting sell there. This is the sell you were expecting. The market got there and guess what? Reacted. Now this reaction was to show you, oh, maybe the sell is about to happen. Guess what? Look at what we did. We push up. Now the reason why the market violated this your technical analysis is because you don't understand the overall trend of the market, where the market is trending. But if you understand where the market is going, there's no way you take a sell here. You can't take a sell. And that's why you're looking at lower time frame like 4 hours, usually, because there's a lot of candles. You can easily be deceived unless you're a scalper. For me, I like to, if I enter a position, I need to hold that position for me to make at least 200 pips before I leave the market, because I don't want to be going in and out of trades. I can easily make mistake. This is financial market. You cannot outsmart people who are moving it. These guys are very smart. So I believe I've answered your question. So let's take.
Hello, sir.
All right, let's take one more question. I'm gonna take one more question because I have another class to one more. This is the last question, so we can call it. You can go ahead.
So if you see a reversal pattern in an uptrend, that's a double bottom in an uptrend, does it encourage you to continue going for a long?
Double bottom in an uptrend. Yes, I'm gonna go for a long.
Okay.
Yeah, unless if it's not an uptrend, I'm not gonna touch it. I need to know the trend first. That's the first thing I need to know. Then whatever chart pattern that is appearing, that's going to help me to make my decisions.
Okay, because there
And
are
again, taking those double bottoms, you need to know where you are taking it, because if the market had extended heavily, for example, let's say for example, this market, which is GBP USD, has dropped heavily. Now, taking a sell trade here, it can put you in a high risk, because why? The question is, why didn't you find trade from this place to this point? That's the question. Why didn't you find the trade opportunity? You can actually enter trade here and you find yourself in a wrong trade. So that's why you need to exercise patience. That's why it's good for you to identify those price chart patterns at where when markets start create at the beginning of trend. Yeah, that's all. At the beginning of the trend.
How can you identify them at the beginning? Because it's difficult for me to identify them.
But that's why we need to take our technical analysis training. It's not what we can discuss this night. You can't learn everything this night. So we'll talk about that later. Let's take one more question. Let's take one more question. Yeah.
Please, can you remind us the relationship between nickel and JPY price?
Okay.
JPY movement.
If nickel 225, if it is bullish, JPY as a currency is bearish. Yeah. If nickel 225 is bearish, JPY is strong. That's how it works. Okay, I believe that's all for tonight. Like I said, if you want to get signals for all of these analysis this coming week, I believe this coming week is going to be very profitable. Just get straight to our group where you get the link of this meeting and message Mr. Professor. Mr. Professor, are you on the call? I don't know if you can share with them how they can contact you so they can actually. Professor, are you there?
Amazing. I'm on the call. I'm going to share with them what they need to do to be part of the Signal group.
Okay. Awesome. All right.
Thank you. Tomorrow I will drop a video.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, and do have a great night and happy trading week.